Greetings. In the last video, you analyzed a spreadsheet and uploaded it to ArcGIS Online as a feature service, and saved and shared a map of the results, which is a map of litter in downtown San Diego. In this activity and in this video, you will perform some smart mapping techniques on the map, including symbolizing the data in several ways. Why do this? The goal of mapping is to understand something in a deeper, richer way. In this case, you are seeking to understand the types and volume of litter in a metropolitan area so that you can make recommendations to the City Council, raise public awareness, in an effort to reduce litter and make the community more beautiful and healthier for all. Now think outside the box, folks. If you can map litter like this with a spreadsheet, you can map community gardens, skateboard parks, dangerous intersections, points of interest in your community, water quality, soil moisture, weather, and so much more. Begin with the map you created in the last activity showing the litter in San Diego mapped as single symbol for each sample point. Let's first change the pop-ups on each point so you can gain more information on the total amount of litter collected at each location. On the left panel, let's go ahead and change the base map first to OpenStreetMap so we can get some richness there with that wonderful information inside OpenStreetMap, which is a crowdsourced set of information. Look at all these web-based maps at our fingertips. Let's choose OpenStreetMap, and now you can see the richness therein. Look at that. That's just wonderful. Check the pop-ups. The default is usually the list of fields and their data. So there we've got all the fields in our data set that we mapped from the spreadsheet. We've got the total number of types of litter for each location. We're going to change those pop-ups though because we want to make them more clear in terms of communicating with others. So let's go ahead and click on that base map symbol so that we can get rid of the base map choices. Pop-ups, description. So over on the right-hand side here, you've got some choices at your fingertips. One of which is pop-ups. Okay, we want to make sure pop-ups are enabled. We're going to use the curly brackets or parens to customize our pop-up to the following. We're going to first go to the title. Okay, we're going to go to the title and we're going to call it, how about the Community Litter Survey? Now let's click on a point. And notice our title now is the Community Litter Survey. It's a little more intuitive than that default layer name. Let's go ahead to description. That is our Community Litter Survey. We could add additional information to the Community Litter Survey, but I think I want to go down to fields list in the description there. And now with the pop-up actually symbolized there, we can say at this point, and notice at this point, notice over here, it's starting to populate it. So it's instant gratification, which is one of the things I love most about WebGIS. At this point, comma, bracket, add field, glass, look, there's glass, pieces, and plastic. There's plastic. Pieces, and notice what's happening in the pop-up, were found. Okay, now we can delete all of the fields and notice what it's doing over here. Now we have, at this point, 5 pieces, and 8 pieces. That's not very descriptive. What we should do is say 5 pieces of glass, right? And 8 pieces, what did we say, of plastic. Okay, that makes a lot more sense. At this location, or at this point, 3 pieces of glass and 4 pieces of plastic were found. At this point, 9 pieces of glass and 14 pieces of plastic, that's kind of depressing, isn't it, were found. So you see that we've modified the title and the pop-up itself with just the curly brackets, as you see, are pulling information from the data table. So it's important to know what your field names are. Okay, so test our results. That's all looking good. Now let's go a little deeper with pop-ups. Let's make them shine just a little bit more. We're going to go under title, and now let's go ahead and, look what we've got at our fingertips here. No expressions. We're going to add an expression. Here you're going to be placed into the expression builder. Don't let this scare you. It's not too complicated. we're going to basically create an expression here, and we're going to paste in this expression right here. What is it doing? It's saying create and store a variable called total litter. The total litter field is going to contain all of the pieces of aluminum, glass, other, paper, and plastic, which is what we have. Now what we need is a line underneath that called return total litter. Now you know what it's doing, right? It's storing it in the variable total litter, all of these total pieces of trash. Stored and summed, notice the plus signs, and then in the next line, return total litter. In other words, return the value that it's collected into that total litter field. I always test and make sure that when you run it, it actually returns a value. If it doesn't return a legitimate value, it'll say syntax error, and you'll need to fix some of your brackets or something in your expression. The expressions are very picky, but you have a lot of power at your fingertips. Now, how did I figure out variable, feature, aluminum, etc.? They're all over here in this. So if you go to feature, notice all of the field names in your table are actually sitting right there. So I just picked them from this list, and that's how I came up with that expression. Okay, so let's go ahead and run that. Yeah, 26, that's looking good. Now let's go ahead and test this. We're going to use the box under title in our pop-ups name. And we have the community litter survey. Total number of litter pieces found here equals, and then this expression, right? What's that expression? That's the expression we just built. Nice. So now look at the pop-up. It's looking very good now. We have even more information than we did before. Excellent. The total number of litter pieces found here, 32. And we still have our information from before, 10 pieces of glass and 3 pieces of plastic. If we don't want that, we can say, okay, let's go to pop-ups again. And under here, that's our title. That's what we've got right now. And under field list, we can delete. Okay, we can also say, now we just have the totals. There's no right or wrong. It's just what do you want to have at your fingertips when you or your users that you're sharing it with see when they get to the pop-ups. Pop-ups are very powerful, and they help you communicate the information to your users. Go ahead and save that map now that you've changed the pop-ups. Thanks.